Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to this session. I hope I'm live and you guys are watching me clearly, right? Okay, so perfect. Welcome back, guys. This is lesson number 55 on CSS, and we are understanding media query in this lesson. So I hope you guys have understood all the previous topics and you have seen the videos of those as well. Like yesterday, I also took one session on CSS Flexbox and I took one session on JavaScript. Um, that was also on hosting and strict mode and errors and exception. So those were earlier topics. Now, somebody who is new here and who do not know what is happening, so let me tell you about this. Uh, Perfect. Hi, Sumu. Welcome back. Okay, so people who are new here, just let me tell you that this is basically a playlist which CodeBeyond by Unacademy channel has been given up for a free content. So in this playlist, what we are planning to do is we are going to cover HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other frameworks, so that one should be ready enough to crack an interview for a front-end developer position or a web developer position, right? So here we are just covering up. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all basics are completed. Now we are covering the advanced portion and we are in the next topic of CSS, which is media query. So this is lesson number 55. Now, if you do not know about me, then let me introduce myself to you. So my name is Ritwik Raj and I'm a corporate trainer. I have also worked as a subject matter expert and research analyst in most of the edtech companies. I have 3+ years of teaching experience and I have trained graduates and corporate employees in Edison and Capgemini also. I have trained more than 30 students till now and it is increasing day by day. The subjects which I take is mostly into front-end development, back-end languages, database languages, and some tips and tricks on how to crack interview those things as well. Now, you can use my code, which is RIT10, to get a free level sample test paper. And if you do not know what is level, don't worry. In just 1 minute, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to explain you about what is level. And the people who already know about Relevel, then you must be knowing what is a sample test paper, right? So this is basically one test paper which will help you to understand which kind of questions will be asked in the actual level test. So it will be really helpful for you. So you can get this sample test paper for free only by using my code, which is RIT10. Okay, so please use that to achieve that benefit. Now the people who are new and who do not know what is level, then let me introduce it to you. So many times what happens is candidates are missing out on many opportunities. Like maybe they have done or they are doing some degree which is on BSc or BC or BCom, but they want to move into IT sector. They want to move into IT field, right? And they have the skills, they have applied to 50-60 companies, but still companies rejecting their resumes because of just their degree. The reason can be of their college also, right? Because maybe they are from type 3 college, so the reason can be that. But the only fact is that resume is not standing out with the other 1,000 or 2,000 people who are applying for the same company, for the same startup, right? So here comes the difference. Now here comes Relevel also. Now, what is this? This is India's first test-hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs only on the basis of their skill and talent. Now, how we are going to judge on the skill and talent? You have to give a free test. Okay, so this is the free Relevel test which you need to give. And once you give this test will be of 1,000 marks. You have to score above 700. If you score above 700, you will be able to get a profile. That means you'll be eligible and you'll get a profile which will be shared with all our client companies, or 50+ companies including top startups and unicorns are there. Like one of the example is Upgrad. So 1,000+ job positions are also there across business development, front end development, back end development. So you can go ahead and give this test. Suppose if you are scoring below 700, no problem. After 30 days you can reattempt the test, right? So with Relevel, you are in a unique position to invite interest from companies instead of hunting for opportunities on your own. Okay, now how to register yourself in Relevel? If you go to the video which you are seeing, if you go to the description of that, you will find a link there. You have to just click on that link and it will take you to relevel.com, the actual website. You have to register yourself by putting down your mobile number and an OTP. Once you will do that, you will get in this page where you'll be able to see 3 tests and you have to choose the test in which your skill is, your skill is there. So maybe you are very good at front end, so you just select that test and then go ahead and book a slot when you want to give the level test. Slots are limited, so I suggest you to book it fast. Okay, now once you choose this, you have to fill in the details. So full name, email ID, birth year, current state, everything you need to fill, the gender, and after that there's a code here. So you need to give the RIT10 code here and click on apply. Once you do that and click on create account, the account will be created and you will be able to get the sample paper here, right? So the sample paper, once you will get here, you will be able to uh, get an idea which kind of questions will be asked in level test, and it will be really beneficial for you to clear that particular test to get a score more than 700, right? So please go ahead and register for it today itself, and if you've already done it, then all the best for the exam. If you have not done it, if you think that you're not ready for the test, go ahead and watch all the live sessions which is going on in CodeBeyond channel. Many other educators are taking different sessions on different topics. So try to gain and upskill yourself, and then when you're ready, go ahead and register yourself in Relevel, right? Okay, this was all about Relevel. So please do not forget to use the coupon code to get the free sample test paper. Now you can also join the Telegram channel. The link is given in the description again. And this particular Telegram channel, we are providing all the notifications for Relevel, all the notifications for when particular educator is coming live at what time. All those things will be updated here. So you'll get an idea when which particular trainer, when which particular educator is coming live. Okay. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel which is CodeBeyond, right? And also please hit the notification bell so that you guys can come up to a notification from your YouTube app as well. Also, please like and share. If you're liking this session, then please like and share with other friends, other relatives, and your classmates also. So today's topic is basically on media query, and we are going to understand what is this media query, why is it used in CSS, and how do we write a program based on it. Okay. Yesterday, if you remember, we have done one of the topic which was Flexbox, and it was really a good session because we have seen a lot of codings there. We have seen a lot of properties in CSS there. So in media query also, there's nothing much, but whatever is there, I'll try to explain you in more clear manner so that whenever you're creating a web page, you'll be able to create your web page using media query. Okay. Hi Somu, hello bro. After HTML, CSS and JS is done, can you attend some level front-end development test questions live on this channel? Yes, we are planning to do that. So let me first complete JavaScript because I don't want to again stop this, the course or however the series is going. So once you'll complete JavaScript, and then only I'll come back to those level sample test questions. Okay. So yeah, we'll be covering that. Once you have to get an idea how and what type of questions will be asked, right? So yes, we will cover that. Okay, coming to media query, I'm just going to open my Visual Studio Code. I hope you can see it. And also I'll just open my Chrome browser. So this is where we will be able to see the result of whatever things we will do. Okay. Now coming back to the code, I'm just going to close this, and because this is a CSS thing which we'll be writing, so I'll just create a normal file here, and we will just name it as, let's say, media query.html. Okay. So in media query.html, we are going to write all our commands, everything for media query, and we'll understand what is this. So I'm just going to write a heading, understanding media query. Okay. Now let's open this with live server and let's check out whether it is running or not. So as you can see, it is running perfectly well, and let's now understand what is media query. So media query is basically making your web page responsive. Okay. Now what is the meaning of responsive? This responsive is not your JavaScript kind of responsive. Okay. There are two meanings of responsive, and do not confuse on that. When you say about JavaScript, right? So JavaScript is used to make your web pages responsive in the sense that it behaves, right? Now, when I say it behaves in the sense, I mean that when I click something, when I click a button, or when I click any of the thing, when I'm doing some event, that event happens and it does something. Your web page does something actually, right? That is what is your behavior. That is how the web page behaves, and that is what JavaScript does. But when you talk about media query, when you talk about responsiveness, then it's basically the different screen size. So if I talk about my laptop, this is having a different screen size. My mobile is having a different screen size. My tablet maybe will have a different screen size, and maybe I'll have a bigger screen, a different monitor, which will have a different screen size, right? Much more bigger than my laptop screen. So all these screens are of different size, and whatever web page we are creating, web pages should be working in all of these different screen sizes. Okay, it should not be like that when you're running your web page in a laptop, then in a laptop everything is working fine, but when it moves to the mobile, in the mobile some things are not visible. Okay, or the data is lost, or maybe it is not representing in the same way how it should do in a mobile. Okay, it's showing me the same way how it is showing me in my laptop. So that will not work, because this is a web page, and web page should be user friendly, right? So media query, what it does, it behaves, and it actually behaves in a manner how we tell it to behave. So suppose if we tell the system, if we tell the browser that, hey, if your web page, if the web page is getting outputted in a mobile screen size, then you have to behave in this manner. Okay, if the mobile screen is this much, then you have to behave in this manner. If the mobile screen is very big, then you have to behave in this manner. So media query is mostly like a if and else statement. Okay, what happens in if statement? If statement is a conditional statement in any programming language. When we write if x is less than 10, then do something. So if the condition is true, if x is actually less than 10, then do something. That's how media query also works. So if in media query I'm saying that, hey media query, if your screen size is a mobile size, then please do this thing. Okay, so that's how it works. But this was all theoretical, right? So let's do some practical, and let's understand what are we trying to do. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to write here is, I'm just going to give a class here, and I'm just going to give here heading. Okay, and in this heading I'm just going to write down heading. Okay, why I've given a class? Because maybe later on I'll be writing a CSS for that, so that's why I've written it. And then I'm going to write here subheading. Here also, this for just printing. So I've written these two things here, right? And make sure that this is, I have not given any h1 or h2, right? So I've not given any particular size to it, because if I give h1 or h6 or h3, then I've given some particular size. But right now I've not given anything. I've just given paragraph, right? So obviously I should give some style. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to put up an internal style sheet, right? And here to the body, I'm just going to give here, let's say, the text color to be blue, right? So normally the text color of all this paragraphs, whatever I've written, should be blue. Okay, and the next thing what I'm going to do is, because it was a class, so I'm going to give here a font size. Let's say this is the font size which I've given. The next, I'm going to give a different font size. So let's say I'm giving 4 rem. Okay, let's check out what is happening in this. So if I go back to my browser, okay, this is how it is looking like, correct? Now if I go and click on inspect, right, you can see here that it is saying toggle device toolbar, right? And this is, if I click on here, you can see something happened here, right? Something is happening here, and I don't know what is this, because I've never explained you what is this, right? So basically this button is making your web page responsive. How it is making responsive? Because you don't have a mobile right now in the screen, right? And you won't be able to see any particular thing in your mobile right now, correct? Because you don't have the mobile right now in your screen. So what I'm doing here is, in my web browser itself, I can check the dimensions and I can understand that how much is the dimension of this screen. Okay, so again, let's go back. So you can see here, this is responsive. I'm going to keep it just responsive. You can choose any of the mobile, whatever you want to choose, but I'm just keeping responsive so that I can drag it, I can move it, I can, do something like this and all. How much ever size I want, I can do it here. So that's why I've kept it like this. Okay, I'll just drag it some more here so that I will have much more space. So this is 664 into 651. That's what is the dimension of this web page right now. Later on, I will change this so that I can use my media query. But I can see here that I don't know if it is 100. Okay, this is 100. Let me once again check it. Okay. Yeah. So fine. Now this is really very small, as you can see, because I've used REM. So this is very small. So let me just change this. Or I'm going to do something. I'll just write here. Okay, that's why it is not working. So the class name was wrong. Yeah, now it's looking quite good. Fine. So this is what I have written in my code. I have one as the heading and I have second as the subheading. 6 REM and 4 REM, right? If you do not know about REM, then go ahead and watch my sessions on unit, right? You will be able to understand what is REM. So this is what I have done till now, okay? And I have not written anything else. Now what I want, see, this is now in a laptop screen, so it's not doing anything, right? Everything you can see that I can see all my text and everything is there. But suppose if I want to run this web page in my mobile screen, and mobile screen is basically something like this, right? So once it is in this screen, you can see what is the dimension here. It's 372. That means it's lesser than 500, right? It is lesser than 500, right? So if I am keeping it as above 500, it is showing me like this. If I keep it below 500, I want to show it in a different manner so that I can understand this is now in a mobile screen. So in mobile screen, I want to represent my web page in a different manner. How can I do that? Let's come back to the code. Here, what I'm going to do, this code is for normal laptop screen, right? Now I'm going to mention some manual things for my screen. So I'm going to write @media. This is basically a, a keyword which you're writing to represent media query, okay? And then in the next part, you write the screen type, okay? So screen type can be anything. It can be only screen, right? Like only the screen which you're using, or it can be all. So all means in all kinds of screen size, this particular code will work. And normally in default mode, all is the perfect size. So normally we use all itself. All means that this code will work in every kind of screen size. So we will write all, and then we are going to write and. So there are two things which we need to write. First the screen type, and then we need to write the width which you want to give. So let's say here I'm going to give a max width of 500 pixel. Okay, what I'm saying here, that apply media query to all the different size screens where the maximum width is 500 pixel. Okay, once it is something like that, then what you have to do, you have to change the color. Okay, so you have to change the color. Now if you can see here, right now this is 574. What have I written in my media query? I have written that it should apply to all the screens. So it should apply to all the screens, and maximum width is 500 pixel. It is going beyond that. My maximum width is not 500. It is going beyond 500. So if I drag this, if I pull it inside 500, then my text color is becoming green, right? So I'm just saying that this size is a mobile screen or a tablet screen in which it is being able to identify the size of the screen, and that's how my web page is behaving. That's how my web page is responsive enough. Okay, so if I drag it, it is again blue. If I drag it inside 500, it is giving me green, right? This is a perfect, very simple example of media query. Okay, so now what we will do is we will try to see some more examples so that you'll be able to understand how different kind of maximum width or minimum width we can give. We can also give minimum width, so that will also work. Now we will try to see how do we do that. Okay, so here what we are going to do is we are going to remove this. If I remove this and if I show you my web page, if I save this, you can see here still it's working. It is still working, right? That's why I told that all and these are default values. Okay, so when I'm writing all and, that are default values, that's why it is basically giving me uh, the same output. Okay, so if you write all, if you do not write that, then also it will work. Let me show you something else. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to just write here print. Print is also one of the screen type. Like I've written all. So all means in all the screen type. Only screen means only in that screen type. Print means only in the print preview. That we means whenever you're printing a web page, a print preview comes in, right? Then only in that print preview, the color should be green. So if I save this, if I go back, you can see here right now it's blue. Even if I make it uh, you know lesser or bigger, it is giving me blue, right? So green is not coming here, but as soon as I go to print the print preview screen, you will be able to see that it's becoming green. I don't know if you can see it. Let me just show you. I hope now you can see it. Okay, so you can see it's now showing me green. Okay, so that is what, and that is how it works. That is what is your print. Let me open the Chrome again. I think I closed it. 1 second, guys. One second, guys. Bear with me. I hope you can see it now. Okay, you guys cannot see the screen. Okay, once again, I think my Chrome is not visible. Okay, now you can. Yep, now you can. Perfect. Thank you guys for waiting. Just 1 second, let me adjust it. I by mistake, I think I closed the Chrome. Let me come back. Okay, cool. Let me run this. Yeah, now you can see the output. Perfect. So, sorry, that was the media query explained. What happened? Okay, fine. So let's go ahead. Let's move to something else. So print we have already seen. Now print, there's no problem in that. So what we'll do is we'll move to the next part, right? We'll try to see something else. We'll try to do something else. And here what we are going to do is we are going to change the uh, orientation. Okay, so we are trying to see how we can change the orientation is basically the landscape and the portrait mode. Okay, so if you're moving into your landscape or portrait mode, you can also change your behavior, you can change or make it responsive. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to just keep it as easy as it is, like max width. So max width, let's say I'm putting up it as 500 pixel. Okay, so at the rate media, maximum width 500 pixel, body color green. That's what I've written here. And the next what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the orientation. So have a look. If I write here media, I'm just going to give here orientation, and I'm going to just write here landscape. Now you guys know how the landscape looks like, right? So let's say that here I'm going to just make it as heading, and I'm going to change the heading color. So let's say I'm changing the color as red, right now there's no color as red, so I'm just going to do that. Now if I save this and I go back, right here, so you can see right now it's 583 and it is basically giving me blue color, and for 500 pixel I've written green. So if I close this around 500, under 500 is giving me green, but still there is no red color, right? So landscape is basically something like this, and you can see here once it comes inside landscape mode, it is giving me the heading as red color. So this is basically a landscape mode. Even if I increase this will be red because now it is in landscape mode. Okay, so landscape dimension is basically around this much. Can you see what is happening? So if I decrease this, you can see. Okay, so this is what is landscape, and your heading is becoming red. If I increase this, if I decrease this, it's not gonna change. Okay, so this is what is a landscape. Landscape is basically a horizontal thing, right? That's what is becoming. You can also change it to portrait. So let's say if I'm coming back and I'm using the same code, I'm just writing it here, it as portrait. I hope the spelling is correct. I'm just going to give a different color here. So let's say I'm giving here as blue violet. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back. So if you see here, this is what is portrait. If I increase this, it is landscape right now because it is red. It is red, so it is basically a landscape. If I increase this, it's still a landscape, right? If I close this, now it's in portrait. Portrait is basically a vertical, like how your mobile works, right? That's your portrait mode. Okay, so you can see how the colors are changing. All the colors are changing. Sometimes it becoming green. Why is it becoming green? Because it is below 500, and then it is becoming purple because I have given portrait mode, because it is becoming red because I have given landscape. So everything is working here, right? But suppose what I want here is I want that both landscape and portrait, or both maximum width and landscape should work, right? So in that case, what we can do, we can use and. Okay, in that case, how we can use and, what we can do here is we can directly write here and right? And we can say here maximum width to be 500 pixel. Okay, and I'm just going to close this. So what am I saying here? I'm saying and means both conditions should be true, just like it works in if statement, if condition, right? How does it work? If you are using and, that means both statements should be true. It should be landscape mode also and should be inside 500 pixel also, then only it will become red. Correct? Right now I have not saved the file, so I'm just going to open my normal output, and I'm just going to show you. So you can see here that it is going beyond 580 to 500, right? It is going beyond 500, then also it is giving me red color. If you look at the code, I've written red color, right? Now what I've done, I've written maximum width 500 pixel, right? So if it is going beyond 500 pixel, this is not gonna be red. Okay, both the conditions should be true. Right now what is happening? Only one condition is true, landscape, right? So let's save this and have a look. Can you see? It's in 582, but it's not showing me red. If I bring it inside, right, then only it is showing me red color. Now if I drag it much more inside, you can see it's becoming blue violet. Why? Because it is now in portrait mode. But if I drag this, it is now again becoming in a landscape mode. So I have given two conditions here. One, it should be a landscape. The other, that it should be below 500. If it goes just 1 point beyond 500, it becomes blue. So that is and. Similarly, what you can do, you can use or also. For using the or statement, what you can do, you can give here comma. So what is this comma? This is basically behaving it as or. Or means either if your orientation is landscape, then you make the color red, or either your maximum width is 500 pixels, then you make the color red. Okay. So if I save this, right now you can see in your browser, it is in landscape mode. That is why it is in red color. If I increase it, it is beyond 500. It is in landscape mode. That is why it is red color. If I decrease this, it is not in red color. If I decrease this, again it is not in red color. Can you see this? So either it is either following landscape or it is either following 500. Okay. So this is how your and or works. This is how you can use and comma in your media query. Okay. So that was all about media query in this example. And next what we are going to do is we are going to write up one more code. Before that, let me see some comments. Sir, yesterday I've asked about Pulsar Lab. Okay. So I'm not able to find much information on internet about Pulsar Labs. It is good to join. Yes, you did ask, but I think I missed it out. 1 second. Okay. Okay. PCM Love and Food, whatever is your name, can you just join the next session also? Like the next session is getting started at I think at 4 p.m., right? So you can please join that, because I have searched about the company and I do not want to give you a false response or a false feedback about it, right? So please give me some time, right? I think yesterday I missed it out. So give me some time at 4 p.m. sessions. The first thing in the first 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you about it, okay? So just give me that much amount of time and I'll again come back. Please join that 4 p.m. session, okay? I've just noted it down so that I do not forget again. Fine. Okay, so we have done here the codes for our media query, and I hope you have understood this. Now, next what we are going to do is we are going to write a code, okay? And we are going to understand different kind of boxes, okay? So we are going to create different types of boxes and we are going to code in that way. So what we are going to do here is I'm going to comment this up. And here I'm going to write div. And in this div, I'm going to just create a class. Just going to write here container, right? Giving an ID because I have several boxes. So I'm going to create an ID for it separate. So I'm just going to write here first. And here I'm going to just mention something. So let's say I'm just going to mention here it as mobile. Similarly, I'm going to create some more boxes, some more containers. So something like this. And here I'm going to just change the names. Okay. So okay, something like this. And also I'll not change the container, but I'll do change the ID. Fine. So these are the 4 IDs which I have given. I have given also the different div elements, and I'll just comment this up because we don't want this CSS now. We are going to create a new CSS now. Okay. Now have a look what all things we are going to give here. So first of all, to the container, I'm just going to give some font size. So let's say I'm giving here it as 70 pixel. Okay, the next I'm going to align it to the center. The next I'm going to give a background color to it. So let's say I'm giving blue. The next I'm going to give a text color. So let's say I'm giving here it as white. And the next I'm going to write something else here. But before that, let me show you what is happening. So if I save this, 1 second. If I save this, if I go back, you can see here, this is what is coming up here, right? So you have mobile, tablet, laptop, TV screen. And it's I've not written any media query. So whatever is the size, it is showing me the same thing, correct? Now what I'm going to do here is I will write here, coming to the code, I will write here @media. Okay. And to this, I'm going to give maximum width. Okay, now this maximum width I'm going to give, let's say 500 pixel. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the ID. So the ID which I've used is first. So I'm going to use that. And to this first, I'm going to just display it as a block. Okay. Yes, a block. And here I'm going to display it as none. Now what is display none? Basically, it will not show you anything, right? For the beginning. So if I save this, and if you look here, it is not showing me anything right now because it is display none. So it is not showing me anything in my output. Everything is there, but because it is display none, so it is not showing me anything. But I've given maximum width 500 pixels. So if I go below 500 because it's maximum, so it is giving me mobile. If you write minimum, then it's going to be the ulta thing. That means if you go beyond 500, then it's gonna give you the output. So right now it's giving me mobile here, right? So now you have understood when is the time when mobile is getting printed, right? So this is one thing. So you got to know that this is not a mobile screen. This is basically a mobile screen, right? Now what we'll do is we'll try to write different codes for different IDs, whichever we have given, and we are going to see how that works. Okay. So here what we are going to do is we are going to use also an AND operator to use media query. So I'm going to just paste this up, and here what I'm going to do, and I'm going to give here a min width. So as I said, min width means up to that region. So I'm going to give here 300 pixel. Okay. Now it's written first here, so I'm going to make it second. and in the second I am displaying it as block. Let's change the color because this is something else. Let's change the background color. Color is already white, text color, so I'm going to just keep it here. Let's move ahead. Let's see what is happening. So right now nothing is visible. If I go inside 500, I can see both of them, mobile and tablet. And if I go below 300, I can only see mobile. Tablet is not there. So between 300 to 500, I can see tablet is there. Correct. Similarly, I can write a different code. I can write something else. I can write here for computer screen or laptop screen also. So I can write here maximum width. Let's say I'm giving it here as 700, and minimum width, let's say I'm giving here it as 500. And this I'm going to change it to third. So if you look here, you are getting a laptop, right? And this will be there till 700. So after 700, this is not there. From 700 till the end, the 500, because 500 was my laptop screen size which I've given. After that, mobile, and then this. Okay, so this is how you got to know when your laptop will be there, what is the size of the laptop which you have given, what is the size of the mobile, what is the size of the tablet, everything you have given here in this code. So this is what is all about media query. If you have any doubts, please do let me know. I will take it further. Please do let me know if you have any doubts still here. Now what we'll see is we'll try to create some files, and we'll try to see how we can use this media query in a basic web page, because we have learned a lot of projects, right? We have done a navigation bar, we have done a footer page, we have done a basic web pages also using JavaScript. So in all those areas, how we can apply media query, that's what we are going to see now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create, no, I'm not going to create. Let's do something. Let's remove this. Let's remove this as well. So here I'm going to create a navigation bar, right? And then I'm going to see how a navigation bar can be changed when I am actually moving my or resizing my browser. Okay, so that's what we are going to see. I'm going to give a nav, because that's how we start giving a navigation bar. Going to give an UL, going to give an li, and to this we're going to give a link. That's how we create a link, right? So here I'm going to just give home. Okay, similarly what I'm going to do, I'm going to create some more links. Okay, let's say this much I've written. Okay, now let's have a look how this is appearing in my web page. If you look here, obviously this is how it will appear, right? So right now I'll just close these things because we don't want to see the responsiveness. I'm just going to keep it normal. This is what is a list which I'm getting. There's no link given. Now directly I'll go to the code and I will try to do some CSS coding here. Okay, so here what I'm going to give here, you remember first of all what we are going to give, right? We first of all give the margin as 0 and padding as 0, because we know that this is basically a navigation link which you are creating, a navigation bar which you are creating. So you have to first create the bar, right? So that's what we are going to create. We are going to create a bar. So I'm going to give a gray color here, right? And you can see here that one gray color should be visible, right? One gray color is there inside which all the li tags are there. We are going to make it inline, so don't worry about that. We are going to make it aligned to the center so that it will be visible. So next we need to change the colors and all for all of those things. So we are going to use here not inline, but instead we will use here flex. Okay, so you know flex now because we have already seen what is flex. So I'm going to display it as flex, justifying content as center. You know what is justify content. This is not align content or align item. This is justify content. Okay, row wise. So this is now in the center. And then we are going to put up list style as none because we don't want to give any styles to this now itself. And I'm going to give an li to padding, which is 20 pixel overall. Okay, let's have a look what is happening. So right now, if you look here, I have not saved the file. If I save the file, you can see everything is now in the place, in the exact place where we wanted it. We wanted it in the center and we are using flex. So everything is in the correct space. We just need to change the color because it is not properly visible. So we'll change that. Coming back to the code, and let's change the color to white. Color, obviously we will have to change it in our A tag because that is what is my main link. So color white, and we are also going to give something else. Text decoration none. Okay, now here we are going to use pseudo classes. So I'm using hover. Whenever you hover into text decoration, this should give you an underline. And the next thing, I'm going to give a text decoration color. This is something new. So whatever is the text decoration you have given, you want to give a different color to it, you can give it. So let's say I'm just giving it here as red, right? Let's save this. Let's go back. Let's show you. So you can see here, whenever you are moving into this is becoming, this is giving you a underline. Text decoration color red is not happening. I don't know if it is deprecated. There's one issue. Okay. That is not of no use here right now. So let's remove it. We don't require this. We need to first of all work with media query. So let's write a code for that. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to write a code for media query. So let's understand how do we write that. So we have written a media, that the keyword, and now what we are going to do, we are going to give a maximum width. So let's say the maximum width which I am giving here, it has 800 pixel. Okay. And the next thing what I'm going to give here is nav ul. To this nav ul, I'm going to give flex direction. Now understand what is flex direction. You already know about it. Yesterday we took one session on it. So I'm making it as column. Now when you're making it as column, that means right now it is in row. If it is below 800, right, it is max width. So if it is below 800, it's gonna give the flex direction as column. So it's gonna convert it into a column, and text align will be center for that. Okay, that is what is the media query which we have given for nav ul. Okay, next what we are going to give, we are going to give the same thing. Okay, the max width, this time we are going to give 600 pixel. But before that, let me show you what is happening in the code right now. So if I go back, I've written only for 800 pixel. I don't know if you can see 800 pixel right now, because yeah, you can see here that, see, this is what is your inside 800 pixels. So you can see it is in now in column base, right? If I drag this, making it responsive, it is not going beyond 800. So it is basically, if you move it above, like, let me drag my Chrome itself. 1 second. You can see here, this is what is beyond 800. Okay. If it is inside 800, which is happening now, that is what is becoming a column. And I hope now you understood how a hamburger menu can be created, right? And now you know if you decrease your sizes, how the menu is getting stuck on the side. These web pages you must have already created, and you must have seen somewhere in your, most of the web pages you must have seen that. Now the next code what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing again for 600 pixel, but this time making one more change. So for 600 pixel, I'm going to do some more change. What I'm going to do is flex direction will be column itself, text align will be center itself. Here what I'm going to do for the nav, that means the bar which you can see, right? The gray color bar. To that I'm giving a background color. Okay. And I'm going to change this color to, let's say, because the text color is white. So let's say I'm changing it to black. Cool. So I'm just changing this to black when it is below 600. Let's save this. Let's go ahead. You can see here. And if I drag it below 600, it's becoming black. Cool. So you can do anything, not only the colors you can change, but also if you want that you are making it in a mobile size, then you want to bring it on the corner, just on the corner on the left hand side, you can do that. That is what is basically a hamburger menu, right? That is what happens. You just get one icon here, and when you click that icon, this thing appears, right? So this also you can do, right? And this will only happen by the use of media query. That is why this topic is important. That is why this topic was very, very important to discuss. Okay. So this is one of the example which we have seen. We are going to move to the next example also. We are going to see two more examples, and then we are going to end this session. But please do let me know if you have any questions. I have not got any comment in the live chat. Please guys, give some hi, hello, anything, so that I can understand that you guys are understanding these things in a correct manner. Waiting for the comments. Please do let me know. If anybody is shy, then please just give me a thumbs up so that I can understand everything is perfect. Okay, great. So that's what is your so here basically the main two things are max width, min width, right? That is one thing, max width and min width. The second thing is basically the screen type which you are giving just here, right? So if you're writing all, that means it's basically a screen type. So it is applicable to all the screen type. You have here several more values. You have screen, you have print, you have only screen. Those all values are there, but default all will be there. And do not forget to use and here, otherwise it will not work. You have to use and here. And also if you want to give some more properties like max width, min width, orientation all together, then you can use and. Okay, like something like this, which we have already seen. We have seen something like this, right? Here I'm giving min width or orientation. So you can give that, but when you're using and, you need to make sure that both the conditions should be true, then only that particular thing will work. If you are giving a comma, it will work as an or. That means either this or that, right? So that you need to keep in your mind. Let's do one more coding and then we are going to end this session. Okay. So I'm just going to remove this. I'm going to remove this as well. Now in the body, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one container. One more doubt somebody asked me. I think I missed that live chat, but later on next day I saw that chat and I understood that there was one question asked to me. So the question was basically to me was why you are using so many divs in your projects, and every time you are using so many divs, every time you are using so many containers, why is it needed? I have already explained this many a times to you guys, that why do I do that, and why you guys also you need to do that, because every div is a special container. Okay, and every div is having its own boundary. So if you have one div, inside that you will have one div, inside that you will have one div. That means you have 3 containers. And no matter what, however you want, you can design those containers, right? If you want to container your very first div, you can do that. If you want to design your very deep inside container, that also you can do. But imagine if you're using only one container, you won't be able to design everything inside that. Correct? So when you have several or when you have multiple div containers, this is basically given to have a staircase kind of thing. Okay, it's like a boundary given to each of the elements, so that if you want to give colors or if you want to increase the font size of any one div, you can go ahead and you can do that very easily. You have to just select that div, right? That is why so many divs are given. Class, I'm going to give here a content because that's where my main content will come. Okay, so this is my very first div which I've given, and here I'm going to just write one paragraph. I'm just going to write here Ritwik Raj at CodeBeyond. Okay, this is what I've given, and I also go give a class here, class P. Okay, thanks Amit, thanks Lucifer. Now if I have a look, how is it looking like? If I go ahead to my web page, this is what is looking like. Okay, so it is just a normal paragraph. I have not given anything else. This is the div, this is the div, and this is the paragraph. So nothing much. Now let's design it. Let's light the styling and let's see what all things we are going to put up here. So this is basically, I'm trying to explain you how you can create a basic semantic layout. If you remember what is semantic layout, I've explained you this. On the side you will have a sidebar, on the middle you have the main content, and in the above you'll have the header, in the down you'll have the footer, right? So how do we create that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to put up a star here because we know that whatever we have written will be working as a box size, right? So I'm just putting up here it as a border box. Everything whatever I've written, all the div containers will be working like a box. So I've given a box sizing border box because I told you one side will be a sidebar, one side will be a navigation bar, one side will be a main content. So everything is a box. That's why I've given here a box sizing. Next, in the body, I'm going to again do the same thing. You know what is it? Margin, padding, because you're working with the web page, you don't want any spaces, extra spaces to be there. So I'm just giving those things. 24 pixel Arial and then sans serif. Okay, and the next what I'm going to give here is text align center. Nothing is going to happen to the text. Basically only the font size will change, nothing else. Let's have a look. Okay, everything is in center, the font size is 24 pixel and nothing has been changed as such, right? Now let's write something else. So here in the class container, I'm going to write overflow hidden. Now this, what is overflow hidden, you will be able to understand in the miscellaneous 3 and miscellaneous 4. If you do not know what is miscellaneous 3, miscellaneous 4, those are the sessions which is coming up in the today night classes, right? Which is CSS miscellaneous 3 and CSS miscellaneous 4, in which we are going to understand a lot of things about overflow, z-index. I think overflow and z-index I've already explained you guys. Please do let me know if I've explained you this, because I think when I explained you display none, visibility, I think I've also explained you overflow. Z-index, I think I have explained you this all things. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back. Okay, let's come back. Okay, so now let's write some code for sidebar. Please do let me know if I have teach you those things. Otherwise in today's session again I will take it up. Sidebar, I'm going to put up a float. I'm going to put up left. Okay, and have a look what I'm doing, because sidebar is the sidebar to the side. So I'm just giving some values to it so that it gets stuck there. So how do I make it float to the left? I've just written float left. It'll go to the left. How much should be the width of the sidebar? 25%. How much should be the height of that particular bar? It should be 300 pixel. Okay. And the background, I'll just give it as, let's say, brown. Okay. And I'm going to give a padding, let's say 20 pixel. Right. Let's see what is happening to my sidebar. I hope the class is correct. If I go ahead, you can see here, this is what is my sidebar. Right. If I want to bring my navigation bar above that, I can do it. I can just write in my code here a navigation bar in this line, and I can just give some commands in the CSS for the navigation bar to be at the top, to be in the center, to maximum width. Those all things I can do, and that's how you will behave. It will behave, right? So let's move ahead and let's write the another code. So now we are going to write a code for content, because my content is looking empty right now. So I'm going to again give it same thing. I'm going to give it here a float left. Now understand here, width I've already given 25%. Now when you're giving 25% here, that means the left out will be the content. If suppose you have one more sidebar, what you will do, you will give here 75 minus 25. That much you will give, because the other sidebar will have the other 25. So that's how it will complete the whole web page. Next, I'm going to give a height again. The height will be same as 300 pixel. You can give the whole itself. You can give the total height as well. I'm just giving this much right now. And let's say I'm giving here it as light green. Okay. This is the background color which I've given. And also I'm going to give a padding 20 pixel. Let's save this. Let's go ahead. So you have the sidebar, you have the main content. Fine. Don't worry about this. This is just a normal paragraph which I've written to just show you how much is 300 pixel and where it is getting written. So this is what is my basic page looks like, right? And you want to add a footer, you can add it down. You want to put up a navigation bar, you can put it above. Fine. Now let's move ahead and let's do some media query task. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write up a code for media query. So let's say I'm writing a media and I'm going to put up a bracket max width. Here I'm going to write 40 em, and here to the sidebar and to the content I'm going to give something. So I'm going to make it float none. That means it will now not be on the left hand side, but it will be none. And the width also I'll give an auto. Okay, so this much I have given to my maximum width 40 em. Okay, now let's save this. Let's go ahead and let's have a look. So now inspect. Let's move to this. You can see here what is happening. So if I cannot increase this, but the maximum height you can see. Yeah, so you can see here 40 em when you're giving, that means you can see here 40 em will be basically around 640 pixel. That is what is 40 em. Okay, so 640 pixel is basically 40 em. If you want to give 640 pixel instead of 40 em, it will work fine. So you can see here what is happening. Right now it is on the float left. Okay, but when I drag it below, it becomes none, float none. So it looks something like this. And you must have seen this many of the web pages. Imagine this as Myntra.com. If you have the sidebar, when it's moving up in the mobile size, your sidebar comes above and your main content comes down. Many of the websites you must have seen that. Here all the navigation things will come, all your links will come. But once it is on a laptop size, all the navigation links will come here. I hope now you got an idea that how your web pages are created and how people can write a navigation bar on the side, navigation bar on the top. If you look one website in a computer laptop, navigation bar is in the top. but when you look it in the same web page in the mobile, it comes on this right hand side. How does it happen? This is how it happens. So I hope you got a clear idea. If you have gotten clear idea, if you have understood what was my planning to explain you this example, if you have got that, then please let me know in the comment section that this was a good example to show the example of media query. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you have understood what is the use of media query in your web pages, right? Your assignment can be that you can create a particular web page using media query. Try to do something like this, right? So that after 600 pixels, this is something looking something like this. Below 600, which is in a mobile or tablet mode, it looks something like this. Please do let me know if you have understood this. It will be really helpful for me to bring up more such kind of examples in next topics as well. Okay, so this was all about media query, and we are already time is completed. So I'm going to come back again at 4 p.m. and we are going to understand one more session which is on, I believe, operators in detail, because somebody asked me that operator we have not taken, because operator is such an easy topic, because C and C++ Java is already having operators. But some people are beginners here and they do not know some of the operators, how do they work, right? Like bitwise or logical operators. So that's why the next session is on that. So I'm going to come back again at 4 p.m. and we are going to try out some operators in detail. Please do watch that as well, because I'm going to use some different examples to show you how different operators works. PCM Love and Food, please come back at 4 p.m. because I'm gonna just search it in 5 to 10 minutes what is that company, and I'm going to just tell you about it. Okay, so please guys, other people, please join the Telegram channel if you have not joined it. Here you'll be able to get all the notifications when a particular educator is coming live and when a particular session is getting cancelled and all. So we'll keep an update, right, so that you don't waste your time and we will also be very satisfied with it, right? The next is, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is CodeBeyond, and please hit the notification bell so that you get the notifications in YouTube app as well. Also, please like and share this video if you have already liked it. Thank you so much. Amit Kumar, thank you so much for the response. Others, please give me a response. If you are already watching the video, if you're in the process of understanding, go ahead. I do not need any comment from you because you're learning. But if you have already watched the video, if you have understood what I was trying to say in this particular session, if you have understood it very clearly, please give me a thumbs up. It will be really, really helpful for me. Okay. Lucifer, if you are there, Somu. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. I'll meet you soon, just after 10 minutes at 4 p.m. and we'll start our operators in JavaScript session. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.